Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is Adrian. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's going to be time to talk about Europa Universalis for Rule Britannia. It is the next immersion pack for Europa Universalis 4 that releases March 20th for the price of $9.99 US dollars or euros or pounds or your respective currency. So I've got a few notes here in front of me, so I just wanted to talk about the immersion pack and give you my verdict on it. I've had quite a bit of time with it, actually. If you guys are watching the Europa Universalis IV Rule Britannia Scotland campaign that we have going on, I've recorded quite a bit of that, and so I've gotten probably about maybe 3 to 4 to 5 hours, probably about 5 hours or so with the immersion pack. So I got a pretty good feel on it and what kind of features are included in it. So let's go and jump on in. I'm going to be talking about just the features that are included in the expansion. There are some free features that are part of the 1.25 Europa Universalis IV gameplay patch. I will not be talking about those features here. I'm just going to talk about the paid content, what it is that you get for your money for the paid features in the immersion pack. We will not be discussing anything that's free. So some of the big features is there's this new feature called Innovativeness. Basically, the more innovative you are, you basically get a power cost reduction of up to 10% on everything. Personally, I have found that this feature is not really that significant. It's actually kind of a little difficult to build up innovativeness. You get a little bit of it when you're ahead of tech, and so you generate innovativeness. You generate it very slowly. So really, for innovativeness, I haven't seen too much of a difference in the game between having 0 innovativeness and having 100%. So it's kind of a lackluster feature. There's the ability to have knowledge sharing, which lets you speed up the adoption of institutions in the target country. This could be useful if somebody offers it to you. I personally have been ahead of tech for basically the entire campaign that I've been playing. I can imagine that this would come in handy if the AI would be willing to knowledge share with you, and so you can get an institution quicker from an AI. But you know, I'm not actually sure if an AI would ever offer knowledge sharing to you. Definitely multiplayer. This would probably also play a pretty big deal as far as knowledge sharing. Somebody offering to teach you an institution is a big deal, especially multiplayer. So that's something to keep in mind. There is this new feature called Naval Doctrines, and specifically, there is a specific naval doctrine that is unique to the Rule Britannia immersion pack. It's called Wooden Wall, and it gives you a combat bonus roll of 1 in neighboring coastal provinces for your navy. So if you play as, you know, a country in the British Isles, either Ireland or Scotland or Wales or something like that, obviously England, you will be able to get this naval doctrine of Wooden Wall, and that will give you a combat roll bonus of 1. I have personally not found a reason to use it, just because my navy is so powerful that there really is no need to have an extra 1 combat roll in neighboring coastal provinces, but it could come in handy if you know, for some reason you needed to fight a lot of naval wars. I don't think the AI is actually that good with naval forces in general to really make this feature, you know, as far as the Wooden Wall naval doctrine, worth much, but that's just me. There is a new trade good. It's coal. Hashtag Victoria 3. And trading in coal gives you 10% extra goods produced nationally, and the local bonus is 20% state maintenance reduction. As far as I know, coal does not fire. It does not actually appear in the world until like much later in the game, like super late. So coal is not really going to be having a huge impact on gameplay. There is also the potential for coal in a number of worldwide provinces, but like I said, I believe coal isn't even discoverable until like the 1700s or so. There's a new manufactory. There's a furnace manufactory that boosts national goods produced by 5% instead of local goods produced. I believe this furnace manufactory has to be built on a coal province. So, new manufactory is always cool. And then we have the steer trade, diplomatic action, and peace treaty, which can be used to make merchants and the recipient country steer trade value towards your trade nodes. So that sounds like a pretty big deal, especially if you're playing tall. The thing is the peace treaty itself is 60%. So you have to get 60% war score to force another country to steer trade towards you, which, as you guys can tell, that's a hefty chunk of change to want someone to steer trade towards your trade nodes. For 60% war score, you could take a lot of land, you could take a lot of money. You could do a lot of things for 60% war score And so I personally have not found a reason to use the steer trade diplomatic action, especially in my Scotland game. We're just kind of making enough money as it is. We have enough trade power everywhere as it is that it really kind of makes, it's kind of a weird diplomatic action to take. Like I would be hard pressed to fight a war as costly as they are, literally just for the steer trade diplomatic action and peace treaty. It's kind of weird. It's kind of strange. I don't know. Maybe you guys have a different take on it. I really don't find it to be worth that much. 60% war score in a peace treaty is quite a bit. As far as Anglicanism, so Anglicanism is a new religion for a British culture nation. The Europa Britannia Immersion Pack adds 15 Anglican events that are specific to Anglicanism. And there's also new missions that are specific for the Europa Britannia Immersion Pack. There are 14 Irish missions, 15 Scottish missions, and then new English and British missions if you have the Royal Britannia Immersion Pack. The mission system itself is, as far as I know, is free, but these specific missions for Irish, Scottish, English, and British players are unique to Royal Britannia. And then lastly, the only real big feature of the Immersion Pack is the Purple Phoenix DLC. If you own the Purple Phoenix DLC for Byzantium, you also get an updated Purple Phoenix mission system specifically for Byzantium. That's unique, I believe, to Royal Britannia, as far as I know, as far as from the information I'm getting from Paradox. So that's a breakdown of the paid Immersion Pack features. Now let's talk about my verdict. So like I said, I've been playing as Scotland into Great Britain for, about 5 to 6 hours or so. I went Anglicanism. I have tried out a lot of the new missions, both for Scotland and for Britain in itself. I gotta admit, the missions are pretty freaking cool. It feels like Hearts of Iron 4, but at the same time, it's very open. EU4 is an open game. It's easy to kind of do what you want and build your own empire and do what you like. And you're not railroaded for things. You're not really constricted in any sort of manner. Much different than something like Hearts of Iron 4. If you want to do something different with Hearts of Iron 4, the game really only has a very limited, amount of avenues for you to take. So I'll admit, the new mission system does not feel like something like Hearts of Iron 4. You can either do all the missions that you would like, or you can do none of them, and you can just do what you want. The missions are pretty cool flavor. I feel like longevity might be an issue with the missions. Once you've played through all the missions, or done like 1 or 2 campaigns and gotten through all the missions in those 2 or 1 or 2 campaigns, you've probably seen all there is to see as far as the missions. They're not exactly dynamic in any sort of way, but they are cool. If you have basically never played Ireland, Scotland, England, if you've never done a really, really long Great Britain campaign, or you're itching to get back into one of those countries that you haven't played in a long time, this immersion pack is going to be for you. But other than that, I'm actually going to go ahead and not recommend this immersion pack. Or if you're going to get it, at least get it on a sale. To be straight up, there's not too much here for anybody that's not interested in the British Isles, basically. If you are interested in the British Isles and you want to do an England, Ireland, Scotland game, you should get this immersion pack. This will immerse you, quote, in the game much more than before. There's a lot of new changes to Ireland and to Scotland and to Britain, to England, and the changes are worth it. And this little bit of flavor that's included in the immersion pack is just that extra push, that extra nudge to immerse you into these countries. But if you're not interested in these countries, or if you've played England or Britain or Scotland to death, if you play them way too much, then you're going to be disappointed in this immersion pack for the price that it is. $10. Yeah, it's just a little too much. If you're really not itching to play as Britain or England or something like that, I just have to recommend that you stay away from this immersion pack. That's just what I was thinking. I'm having a blast with it. I haven't played Britain, England, or Scotland in a long time, so I'm really enjoying myself in my campaign. But I could also see that there is a longevity issue here. There's a replayability issue that's kind of iffy here. Once I played as like Ireland, Scotland, Britain, and England, probably once each, I do long campaigns. I'm a Let's player, so I'll do long campaigns probably for each of those nations. Once you do those, you're probably going to be done with this immersion pack. There's not really going to be much else for you to see. I do have to admit, Anglicanism is pretty lackluster as well. Its religion mechanics. It's cool that it's different than, say, Protestantism or Reformed or Catholic, excuse me. But it's actually kind of a lackluster religion, to be perfectly honest. I actually think Protestantism is stronger. Catholicism definitely is stronger. The Reformed faith is even probably stronger. There's just, Anglicanism is just kind of, I don't know. There's not a lot of events for it. There's not a lot of dynamism with it. If you go Anglican, you're pretty much the only country that is Anglican, it's just kind of lackluster. I don't know. It's kind of weird that Anglicanism as a specific sect of Protestantism is its own thing when you could take that concept and run with it, man. You could do like Puritanism, you could get into like Anabaptists, Zwinglers, what do they call them? Zwinglianism, I think it's called, but you could go so far with that concept of making all these different sects, sects of Protestantism their own religion. But I don't know. It's weird. Anglicanism being its own thing, it just feels too lackluster to really be worth it as its own unique religion. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. So anyway, guys, sorry for the long verdict. But verdict is, if you're interested in Ireland, Scotland, England or Britain, then get this immersion pack. If you're not, get this on a sale or don't get it at all. You're really not missing very much. Innovativeness, not really worth anything, I don't think. Knowledge sharing might be cool, but I mean, you're not missing out on much. The Naval doctrine, like I said, I haven't even found a really good reason to use it, especially with the AI. The AI is not actually that hard to beat as far as, waging naval war. So I didn't find it too important. The coal trade good and the new manufacturing and the potential for coal, I don't see the value in it. It's just way too late game for anybody to really care. And then the steer trade, diplomatic action, and peace treaty, I haven't even used it, and I don't really see the value too much in using it. That might just be me. You might have a different opinion on it, but that's just me. So, all right, guys, before this episode and before this video gets too long, I'm going to go ahead and take a break here. But yeah, that's my verdict on Europa Universalis IV Rule Britannia. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope this helps some of you guys with purchasing the immersion pack, and I will see you guys in the next one. So thank you so much for watching. As always, please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thanks so much.